Fantastic. And people hear me? Maddalena, are you there?
Good evening.
Hey.
Fantastic. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to jump right into things. So I want everybody else to mute, please. Please mute yourselves. Maddalena, I want you to keep yours open because I need you to respond.
All right.
Fantastic. Let me just start by asking, you read the introduction in chapter 1, which is unit 1.
Yes.
What is your comfort level? Do you feel good? How do you feel?
I'd say I'm a solid 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. I'm glad that you're honest and you didn't say you understand everything because you never will.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's not the purpose for you just to read this and for you to understand everything. Purpose is to get the operating system going and to get functional, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. I want you to note, Maddalena, before we start, oops, sorry. I want you to note that the book says we're supposed to spend 4 hours on each unit. 4 hours on each unit. So you and I will have 2 hours together on each unit. And the other 2 hours will have to be filled in by you. Okay?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Here's what I want to do to start. Here at the beginning, the most important thing for you to understand are the letters, right? The consonants and the vowels. The consonants and the vowels. So I'm just going to ask, I know you've had some time with this already. I'm just going to ask you to warm up today, this opening session. Warm up by telling me the alphabet. And Chewy, if you get me a lot of volume,
Alpha.
I need to hear you
Really?
pronounce. I need to hear you pronounce. So go ahead and just say
Okay.
the alphabet.
Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega.
Fantastic. Oh, God, that's fantastic. So these 24 letters, you're going to be looking at a couple of them being combinations of letters, and you're going to be looking at differences between consonants and vowels. This is very important. You read about accents in the introduction. What is your opinion of accents?
Well, I was interested on how you move and find the accents starting from the end to the beginning, and I was trying to figure out that whole science of that, but I understand the breath marks and how it's intonation. It's for raising pitch, lowering it, and circumflex doing both.
Yeah. Now it's good you're intellectually curious
Yeah.
about how those work. I want you to hold off on satisfying yourself intellectually, and I want you to think of accents. And you mentioned the rough breathing as well, right? Rough breathing. Technically, that's not an accent. Technically, that's more like a letter, right? It's more like an H. So, what I want you to envision about accents is everything that I'm about to tell you right now. Yes, they are musical, but we don't care. You must learn stress. You must learn stress. Okay, so all I want you to do is on the accent, I want you to spend twice the time that you would on that accent than you do on the other syllables.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I want you to do. Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's turn you up, shall we? Shall we take you to the fields of glory? Here we go. Go to page 11 and just let me hear. Kind of like I'm just sounding you out.
Okay.
And I want you to go to the first column on.
You froze. Oh no.
Did I lose?
Oh,
Did I get you?
you're back.
Yeah, okay.
First column on where?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. You said the first column where?
Oh, on page 11, please, and
Okay.
Roman numeral number 1.
All right. Anthropos. Agamemnon. Dramata. Biblion. Barbaros.
Okay, stop there. You missed one accent. One accent. It was number 4, biblion.
Biblion. Yeah.
Right? Now,
Yeah.
right, that's all I'm saying is we're just putting the extra stress on that.
Okay.
So this is all I want you to worry about accents right now. We can talk
Cool.
about the ultima, the penultima, the antepenultima, and we will. But as you're starting, I only want you to be concerned about replicating pronunciation using these accents in
Okay.
our system of speaking that we are not using tone. Okay,
Sounds good.
fantastic. Fantastic. Keep going with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right. Graphike. Demosthenes. Epistole. Hector. Um, Hexagon. Hexagon. Oh no. Sorry.
Good, good. Put a little bit of that rough breathing on number
Yeah.
10. Right?
Hexagon. Oh,
Hexagon.
hexagon. Yeah.
Yeah, now
Makes more
notice
sense.
this, Maddalena. Notice this.
Okay.
You've got an omega there,
Yeah.
right? Followed by an omicron. So that omega is technically O,
Oh.
and that omicron is technically A.
Okay.
But, but,
Hexagon.
yeah, but when they're right next to each other like that, it's going to attract into that deeper vowel, right? So you're just
Okay.
going to hear, that's what you're going to hear. But I want you to notice that those are two different vowel lengths,
Yeah. Okay.
And I want you to make sure, flip back to page, oh God, page 3, please. Page 3. We do a lot of flipping. And I want you to look at the long vowels versus the short vowels. See at the very bottom of the page, you've
Yeah.
got that chart. And on the left side, you've got the long vowels, right side, short vowels. Right? Notice that the alpha has both a long and a short form. Notice that the eta's short form is the epsilon. The iota's short form is itself, right? The
Mhm.
omega's short form is the omicron, right? And then
Awesome.
you've got a long and a short upsilon, right? So there's going to be a lot of musical stuff that we're missing, but what we can do is synchronize our pronunciations, right? So again,
Yeah.
focusing on those accents. Go back to page 11 and start with, do 15 through 20, please.
Okay. Heracles. Heracles. uh, it's- they patron, Dios, historia, Hippocrates, kinema.
And there you go. There you go. Notice you hit the accents. What you're doing is you're focusing on the accents,
Yeah.
Maddalena, and when you do, it takes your mind off the letters.
Yeah.
Right? It takes your mind off the letters. It does. It forces you to
Mhm.
see them in kind of a subconscious way.
Yeah.
So fantastic. You hit all of those accents. Look at number 15. Notice that Ada on the front has that rough breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heracles. And you were very
He,
good to put the accent exactly where it goes. Heracles. Right? Very nice. Beautiful. Beautiful words, right? Okay,
yes.
now, okay. I hear your pronunciation now. I want to apply something that you're going to be doing for half the time that we are not together every
Okay.
class. So go to the vocabulary on page 31. This is unit 1 vocabulary. Now
Okay.
I want to hear you say each word, and I want
Okay.
you to give me the entire lexical entry, which is the nominative followed by the genitive followed by the article for the nouns. Okay?
Okay.
For the
Uh-huh.
for the verbs that we'll get in the next couple of units, it'll be multiple. You'll get multiple parts, all of the principal parts, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Fantastic. But that's what we've got. So if you can read the whole lexical entry for me,
Hmm.
I'm gonna quickly correct your pronunciation to what mine is. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So starting with agora, right?
Yes, good.
And then you want me to do the endings for agora,
No,
like,
no, 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 no. Just
or just
look at the entry, and
uh-huh.
so you'll do like this. You'll say agora,
Hmm.
agoras. Hey,
Agoras. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, good,
Okay.
good. Meaning marketplace.
Adelphos. Yeah.
Mhm.
Adelphu. Ho.
Good.
Anthropos. Anthropu. Anthropu. Ho. Meaning man. Biblion. Biblio. Do. Doron. Doru. Do.
Mhm. Good, good.
Ace. Ek. Ex. In. Ergon. Ergu. Do. Theos. Theou. Ho. Or he.
Okay, one correction on that one.
Or
Look at your epsilons. You're dropping your epsilons into your eta. Remember that
okay.
epsilon is just a shortened eta, so it's F,
Is it a? Okay.
and the eta is A. F
A, yeah.
versus A. So
Yeah.
set off, set
Okay.
off with the
The
accent over
os.
the Omicron, right? Set
Okay.
off. Good, good.
Cool.
Keep going.
Kai. Um Logos. Logo. Ho. Mache. Majes. Yeah.
Excellent key. Excellent
He.
key on
Yeah.
that. Look, you didn't say make. A lot of people say make, right? No, it's make with a key. Good. Keep going.
Nessus. Nesu.
Now, I want you to
Uh,
notice on that one, I want you to notice like Polynesian, many islands,
mhm.
right?
Yeah.
That Nasos is, if you look at the
Nessus.
accent, it changes. It changes from a circumflex to an
Hmm.
eta in the
How does
genitive
the
with
how
an
do they
acute.
sound different?
Yeah, right. How do they sound different? One is they pitch up, pitch down, that's
Okay.
circumflex. And the other one is just one up, boom, that's it.
Okay.
Wait a minute, what? So you're going to pitch up versus, right? So we don't, when you are translating as a classical philologist,
Hmm.
right, you are not concerned about the pitch. They cut the music out of the language in order to get us to be able to just do the basics, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. But technically, yeah, it's different changes in pitch.
Okay.
And we only know that because of what the grammarians said and what we can gather. So yeah, yeah,
Cool.
fantastic. Now, your pronunciation is great. Go to the bottom to the last two. Go to the word psyche. Say the
Psyche.
psyche. Good. And the psyche.
Psyches.
Good.
Yeah.
The soul. Now give me the one above that one. What is that?
Hooray. Hurrah. Or is it hurrah? Or is that hooray?
Hora. Put that
Hurrah.
accent on the in its right place. Hora.
Okay. Hurrah.
Horas, correct?
Hurrahs. Yes. Cool.
Fantastic. Okay. Now, all that was the tuning up. And you have already have command of the letters, right? So you are one
Hmm.
step ahead here at the beginning of the course. So you're giving us one little extra push. Right now, for a student who had no exposure, I would be drilling letters, letters, letters,
Yeah.
letters, and pronunciation. But you and I are going to go forward because you have
Okay.
already been through it. I want you now to go to unit 1 and flip
Okay.
back one page from unit 1. Sorry. Go to the end of the introduction, which is
Okay.
page 15.
Okay.
15. You can go and put it up, Chewy. Put up page 15. All right. Maddalena, I want you to see here on page 15. They give us a pronunciation exercise that is just the
Okay.
end of it's the final paragraph, as you can see, of Plato's Republic.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before we jump into the real depth, I want you, it's at the bottom of the page, sure. Before we sure, go ahead and share that. Before you look at this, I want you to realize what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you how to read the Greek. Okay.
Okay.
There are
Hmm.
some basic rules here that you need to see
Okay.
in the beginning from this paragraph. First of all, notice that the first letter is capitalized. The paragraph
Yeah.
begins with a capitalized letter. Notice that there are spacings between the first and the second words, right?
Yeah.
None of that is natural to the Greek. All of that is convention. Okay, there is no punctuation and there are no spacing between letters, between words. So, what kind of problem does that bring up? It brings up an aspect of what you're going to see in the Greek that is not there, obviously, to everybody. And that is when they run words together, they're running words in order to make the music melodious. So it
Yeah.
doesn't sound cacophonic. They will cut off the ends of the words, they'll join words together. Oh, God, it's of course the language that is all sandwiched together like that is going to
Hmm.
be spoken or sung fluidly. It doesn't need commas and periods and question marks or semicolons. Okay. It doesn't need
Yeah.
that. What you are looking at here, bring it up again, Chewy. What you're looking at here is a text that has been edited. It has been
Yeah.
edited by people following who put in commas and all these accents. The original text don't have any freaking accents. Okay, so sorry, they don't. And so what
Hmm.
you're looking at here is a highly tailored version of a Greek text.
Okay.
But this is the version that you and I are going to be working on together. This is what will be our template for setting the
Okay.
Greek in your brain. So I want you to notice a few things about it. Notice that we do capitalize, just like in English at the beginning of a sentence. We're going to capitalize. We're going to capitalize. Look at the fourth word in glaucon.
Glaucon.
Glaucon. I notice the gamma on the front is capitalized. Right?
Hmm.
Why? Because it's a personal name. It's a dude named Glaucon. Right? Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. If we keep going, you'll notice that all the accents are there and the sentences are divided really nice. Look, here's another comma. That's gorgeous. Another comma. So we know that this is a little phrase here, right? And if we keep following it, we'll eventually get to the end of the sentence with a period. Right. So you can
Yeah.
rely on these conventions. You can rely on the uh, our modern conventions, punctuation, and etc. That's fine. But I want you to know right from the beginning that's already we're stepping outside the Greek way. Now, how do I, why is this important? Because sometimes you will notice that there is a verb, for example, that has a prefix. If you go to the bottom line, dialele, sorry,
Yeah.
musa. That has its own prefix. That could be separated from that verb. And they do this. And if you put something between it and its verb, it'll influence what comes between it. So there's really something going on here with the language from the very beginning that we don't have an appreciation for because we're working with these edited texts, right? Again,
Hmm.
it's the last paragraph of the Republic, and Plato is telling us, live a good life, God damn it. Rise, be good people. You're gonna get washed out in that Lethe and whatnot. So, make sure your 1,000-year journey is worth it. Okay. I just want you to see that, and I want you to have that perspective that these are
Okay.
all edited texts, and I want you to take comfort in their editing, but I want you to realize that these are things that other people have done to the text, right? They
Okay.
aren't really
Yeah.
part of the original. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, here's what I want you to do. There's a cheat here in the beginning for these first 3 or 4 units. There's a cheat that nobody ever pays attention to. I want you to go there. It's before the acknowledgments. Look, we're doing it backwards, just like the devil would be. It's
Mm.
VI, right? Six. Page 6, right there, the abbreviations. Flash the page up there. Page 6. I want you to notice that this is kind of a cheat of all the different grammatical terms that you're going to have to
Oh,
know. Okay. Do you see that? The abbreviations on page
where are we at?
5, right? Okay. Yes, no, it is right, because 7 is the following. Fantastic. Here's your abbreviations. People don't pay attention to this, but it's a cheat. Look, here are the parts of speech that you're going to have to know. The big ones here's adverbs, conjunctions, prepositions. Isn't that nice? It gives you those right up front. Here are the cases for nouns. Now, the next 3, case, gender, and number, those are how you classify, divide up, dissect, and identify nouns. You've got case, gender, and number. What kind of cases? Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, vocative. Look, they're all there. Right? What kind of genders do you have? Masculine, feminine, and neuter. Numbers, singular, plural, right? And there is this dual, but it rarely exists. You know what I mean? It's not common enough for us to memorize it in a paradigm. But if you'll notice, they're all the noun terms that you need. There's all the terminology, right? Look on the right, you're going to see the verbs. You got mood, voice, right? Tense. Isn't that nice? Tense. Oh, God.
Nice.
Love it. Okay, so I just want you to notice those are the kinds of terms. Yeah, those are the kinds of terms that we're going to be swimming in the first, second,
Okay.
third unit. Okay. Now,
Hmm.
I want to go ahead. We've got this is perfect. 30. We're 30 minutes in, and we've been through the introduction. I want to go to Unit 1. And what
Okay.
I'm going to do is what the people at Berkeley did. I'm going to start off by saying you and I have both looked at number 1, Unit number 1.
Yeah.
The overview of Unit 1 is nouns. Nouns is what we're concerned with, right? So they've got
Yeah.
that gender and that number, right? That is all. We have three types of nouns in ancient Greek. We have first, second, and third declensions, right? First,
Yeah.
second, and third declensions. You decline nouns, conjugate verbs. So we have
Mhm.
three declensions. And the two biggies, the first and the second, right? They follow beautiful patterns, very easy to memorize these things. The third, not so much. The third is like the hodgepodge of everything else that got thrown in there. Right?
Okay.
Everything else that got thrown in there. Okay, go ahead, take it down. So I want you just to go to the vocabulary section right now
Okay.
on page 31. Go to the vocab section. And I want you to look at the first word there. Agora, agoras, the
Hmm.
marketplace. Right?
Yeah.
Now, how do we know what family that is and all that kind of stuff? I want you to turn to the cheat. The cheat is the article. The article must be the same case, number,
Oh,
and gender. It
yeah.
must be the same case, number, and gender as the noun that it's with. They
So it's
must,
feminine.
they call that agreement. They must agree in their case, number, and gender. So when you look at that hey there, you see the nominative, feminine, singular. That's what they give you for the article because they gave you the nominative, right?
Hmm.
Agora. So that's telling you, hey, this is a first declension. Feminine
Yeah.
now.
Uh-huh.
Fantastic. Look at that second one. What declension is that second one? Adelphi.
Ma masculine,
Yeah.
right? So it's second.
Good. Second declension. How about the third one? Anthropos.
That would also be second declension because it's right?
Uh-huh. And what do you know what gender that is just from doing a little bit of reading?
Um, masculine?
Masculine,
Or
exactly.
okay.
Now, what's the key to this is what is in the chart on page
Mhm.
28. What is in the
Yeah.
chart on page 28? You don't have, but this is what you're using in your brain. I know because you've memorized this, right?
Yeah.
You've memorized this. And so you know. Now, Maddalena, I want you to memorize these by
Yeah.
gender. So
Okay.
ho, tu, toi, ton is the masculine singular. Ho,
Mhm.
tu, toi, ton. The masculine plural, hoi, ton, tois, tus. Now, we're going to memorize by gender for all of the nouns that we do. Anything that's nominal or adjectival,
Mhm.
we're going to memorize them in that way. Okay,
Okay.
not across. So I just want to let you know that. Feminine, look at feminine.
Cool.
A, taste, a. Can you see this, the iota subscript and the dative? I want to hear just a little bit of that. A, right?
Te.
Good,
I
beautiful. How about the do the
don't
plural?
I I don't estás.
I. Notice it's a rough breathing in the nominative plural.
Okay,
Hi.
yeah. I
Good,
okay.
right?
Ton
Good.
taste tas.
Almost. Look at the dative. The
Oh,
alpha. The alpha iota makes a
mhm.
diphthong that's pronounced
Is it
I.
okay.
Nice. Good.
Tais. Okay, cool.
Good. Iton, tis, tas. Look at the neuters. To, to, toy, to. Now notice the nominative and the accusative are the same. To, right? Look at the
Yeah.
plurals. Ta, ton. Wait, what is it?
Voice.
It's or
Mhm.
toys? No, it's toys. It looks like the not. It looks like the masculine, right? Ah, good.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is I want you to keep that list in your mind in order to do everything that we're going to do in this
Okay.
chapter. Okay, so go back to the beginning of unit 1,
Hmm.
and I just want you to look. Notice it talks about gender, number, and case. Gender, number, and case. You feel good with a world that is masculine, feminine, and neuter?
Yeah.
Okay? You've got no problem with that? Okay? You don't care why the word logos is the gender it is? You don't care, right? You don't care why techne is not the same gender as logos. You don't care. All right. I just want you to be able to identify what is masculine, feminine, and neuter. It's very
Okay.
sterile. It's very philological. Okay.
Cool.
We don't care. We can have a debate whether it's natural gender or not. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Number number two, the number, singular and plural. It's really that simple. And then we get to cases. Cases. You're
Hmm.
good with numbers. How about cases? Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and the vocative added at the end. You read
Yeah.
about cases. Do you feel, can you just tell me what
Okay.
are, what is like, well, how do you use the nominative case?
It's the subject of a sentence. So
Yeah. Okay, that's all you
yeah.
have to say. Stop right there. Perfect. Genitive. How about that? Go to the page 19, and look at the box and see the cases there in the box at the bottom. Anything, Maddalena, that's in a box,
Hmm. Okay.
something they want you to focus on. So
All right.
nominative, genitive, dative, accusative. Maddalena,
Hmm.
nominative is the command all, right?
Yeah.
It is the case that really commands the sentence. The numbers 2, 3, and 4 here, the genitive, dative, and accusative, those are
Yeah.
oblique cases. Those are oblique cases. Right? They can't act as predicates and stuff like that, right? Oh my
Yeah.
God. What is that nominative predicate? Oh, forget about it, man. All you need to know here is from this chart that the nominative is the subject, the genitive is really coming out of something or away from something. The dative is to, for, right? Or
Hmm.
with, right? They have in and at too there. You get kind of a locative kind to kind of deal with it. And then accusative, the direct object, right?
Yeah.
Dog
Hmm.
going to pet, or the ball that you're going to kick, or the food that you're going to eat. Those are all the direct objects. Okay. Do you understand how cases work?
Yes, I think.
Fantastic. Yes, you think exactly, right? Fantastic. So we can go forward. We can go forward then and look at form, because in our Greek studies, morphology is everything, right? What are the forms of the word and what are they going to look like? So I want you to jump to page 21 and
Okay.
look at these first declension nouns, and I want you to look at the nominative singular and see at the bottom of page 21 that it is an eta. See that eta? We're going to go
Uh-huh.
look for a nominative. We're going to go look for a nominative singular back in Plato. Flip back, right?
Oh,
A lot of flipping. Flipping. It's on page 15.
okay.
I want you to scan this. I want you to scan this for something that looks, the passage of Plato at the bottom, sure. The passage, I want you to scan it and look for something that ends in an eta. Look for anything. Do we have anything that we can?
Eso say in the first
Okay.
line.
And so say that ends in an eta there. That's a verb. So
Yeah.
that one doesn't count. Okay, so
True.
let's see if we can find it. Is there a noun somewhere in there? It ends in an eta.
Mhm.
Oh, there anyone? You're scanning, right? You're doing what I'm
I'm
doing.
scanning. Yeah.
Why am I doing this to you? Because I'm getting you intensively to consider the letters, right? That's all you're doing. Scan. Do you see anything?
uh, mm, is it well,
We got
am
Jack.
I specifically looking for nominative?
Yeah, we're just looking for any
Okay.
word that ends in an eta, and we want to see if that's a noun or not, right? Okay, so look, I don't see that end in an eta. Okay, go back to your first declension endings on
Mhm.
page 21 and look at the genitive. How about an eta
Yeah.
sigma? How about an eta sigma? Ace is our genitive ending. You
Yeah.
see any words in here on page 15? You see any of them that have an eta sigma? Start scanning, right?
Nomisontes. Is that a verb or is it an noun?
That's an epsilon. That's an
Yeah.
epsilon sigma, right?
Oh, yeah.
We
You're
need
right.
an
Yeah.
sigma.
Duh,
Need an eta sigma. Oh
yeah.
my,
Duh,
I don't think there's
mm,
anything in here again.
no, there's several accusative.
Look at line 9. Look at 9. There's an eta sigma, but that's a type of word we haven't learned yet. So I don't go. I don't want to go there. Is there any noun here? No. How about the accusative? The accusative will jump over the dative, and the accusative is an eta nu. Can you find on page 15 anything that ends in an eta nu?
Psyche.
Okay, good. Line
Line
3.
3 and
Right? Okay, no, stop there. Stop there. I just want you
okay.
to be able to see this, right? Look at its definite article. It agrees with it in case, number, and gender, right? Tane.
Hmm.
Tane psychane. Right? There
Yeah.
we have an accusative. There. Okay, so do you see that? We've got one. Do we have any more? Any other nouns?
Um, in line 5,
Line 5.
donate.
Look at do not tame. Is this thing a noun or is it an adjective? Oh my God, we haven't even gotten that far, right? But
Yeah.
what point does this show? It shows that your nouns and your adjectives are going to have the same endings, people,
Hmm.
right? The plurality that is Maddalena. Love it. Fantastic. Um, mm, go to go to line go to line 10, very bottom,
Okay.
and look at the fourth word in Koreai. Korea.
Boreai.
See that little iota underneath, the
Hmm.
little iota subscript in the end?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Is that the iota that we're going to be seeing if you turn back to the page of your paradigms of the nouns, right? The first declension. Is that the
Of
kind of
the
iota that we're going to be seeing? Let's
of the
see.
data. The dative, I mean.
Yeah, the dative case. Exactly.
Yeah.
You see that? And all that's happened is that vowel has changed. It's not an eta anymore up there, right? It's an
Hmm.
alpha. It's an alpha. So go to page 21 with your endings and look at the dative and notice that you can have an eta iota and you can have an alpha iota. Those are both dative, feminine, singular endings. Isn't that nice? Oh, God. Now remember, most of these nouns are in the or feminine, right? Okay, you get some goofiness that goes on backwards and forwards. But remember, first declension feminine, second declension masculine and neuter. Love it, okay?
Cool.
And I want you to pick apart one more time. I want you to go
Okay.
now on page 15. I want you to go to line 8. And I want
Okay.
you to look at the first two words on line 8, tois, the ois. And
Oh,
I want you to tell me what are the what is the case number and gender of that thing? Twice the always. Remember it's an article.
toisteos.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's an article
yes.
now. So if you
Okay.
want to cheat, you can go just look up the article, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Which, God, that's why I have to memorize them.
Which you should do. No, what you should do if you don't have it memorized yet, you should go to
Mhm.
page 28
Is
and
it?
tell me.
It's masculine,
Very good. Yeah.
or neuter.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Now, how are you going to determine that, people?
Yeah.
How are you going to determine that? Because you know that os is masculine,
Hmm.
right? And that's why they put whole, but they also put, go back to your vocabulary and look what these devils did. Do we have rules or not in this world? Right? Look on page 31 and look at the entry for theos, the word for
Theos.
God, and notice that it says theos, theou, hos
Hmm.
or hey. Wait a minute. I thought you said, these are feminine, these are masculine. Yeah, okay. You can put a feminine article with a masculine noun, like theos, and it means just a feminine of the masculine thing that the word defines. Isn't that nice? Now,
Nice.
and now you think you understand your world. You think, oh, well, that means hey, theos is a goddess, right? A female god. Yes, but no. Because the oldest word that we have in Greek for goddess is theos, and they use a masculine um, uh, article, definite article with it. So wait a minute, how is that happening? Right? What are they doing with their gender? Do you see why I told you? I don't want you to get mixed up in the weeds with the accents and what is different and what makes gender, right? Those types of
Hmm.
questions are not important because in different periods of Greek, you're going to see different things, right? And you're going to notice that, oh, wait a minute, that goddess thing where you change the article, that's later, dog, right? Oh, God, I love it. Okay, let's go then. Okay, we're at 43 minutes. I take you to 50 because you can't take more than 50 minutes, okay? Go to the masculine
Okay.
and neuters of the second declension on page 24 is where you're going to see their endings, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Morphology. We've got to memorize these forms. What
Hmm.
are they? Os, ooh,
Mm,
oi,
mm,
on.
mm.
All right, good. And don't throw the vocatives in there. Just do
Okay.
just do the nominative, genitive, dative, and accusative.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not going to see enough vocatives here. You want to look at the vocative here on this page, 24. Look at the vocative for the masculine. It's just an epsilon, right?
Hmm.
Right? O anthrope, right? With that epsilon on the ending. How many times are you going to see that? I can go weeks without seeing vocatives, dog. Right? Reading every day. I can go weeks without seeing vocatives. So it's good for you to know that's what it is, but please
Hmm.
don't memorize it. When you're memorizing these things, I want you to memorize them top to bottom, nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, os, oi, on, right? Without the vocative. Good. And the plurals. Notice how they're putting the vocative plural with its nominative because they have the same
Yeah.
form. That's nice. All right. Oi, on, ois, us. Good.
Moist. Moist.
Good, good.
Cool.
So do you feel kind of comfortable with the different declensions and how they look?
Yeah, I do.
All right. So take a step back and say, okay, what did we deal with? What did we deal with? You're advanced and you've already come through the pronunciation, so I don't have to spend a bunch of time with you on pronunciation. That's number one. Number two, we just went through the basic mechanics of Unit 1. Okay. Because you have read it already and because you come into this already prepped, you're not you're not needing as much hand holding.
Hmm.
Okay. In the
Yeah.
future, once we get past the maybe the third, fourth, fifth unit, there will be much more hand holding necessary. Don't think that that's a bad thing.
No,
Okay.
okay.
Don't think that it's a bad thing. But I don't think I need to read with you what gender is. I can sense from where you are. And this is the real advantage of a tutorial over a classroom full of people, right? Because now I got to stop with you and I got to start with George. And I got to go through all of George's problems, right? And work with
Hmm.
George. Instead, George needs to work with himself, having seen how you and I work together. And if he
Yeah.
doesn't know, if George doesn't know alpha, beta, gamma, delta, right? If he doesn't know all the letters, he's absolutely fucked, right? So he knows as George is sitting there, he will know, oh, I got to get these letters down, right? So if we ever do this on YouTube, it has to be done knowing that that person has nothing. And they have to
Mhm.
be read up. They have to be brought, okay? But I'm not going to waste your time because what I'm doing is I'm developing a technique, um, uh, not the um, start to finish, right? The
Yes.
technique is what's important. The
Okay.
articles, you're going to notice that there are some things in each chapter that you must memorize their forms, their morphology. All of this work will break down into morphology, syntax, vocabulary. If
Okay.
you understand the syntax of how those endings change what that word is doing in a sentence, if you
Hmm.
understand that and you can recognize the morphological changes that the endings alter, right? You can take your vocabulary and commit it to memory permanently. Okay. You can look at those
Yeah.
nouns and you can understand that. One of the things that you're going to need to do is memorize. Memorize. So close your book. I want to show you something. What? No, keep me up. I want you to close your book.
Okay.
Sit there all nice, right? And I want to do something for you. I'm going to show you the difference between hearing and reading.
Hmm.
Ergon. What does it mean? Ergon.
Work, right? I can't remember.
Oikia. Oikia. What does the word oikia mean?
IKEA. Um, I don't remember.
Good. Techne. Good. Techne. What is techne?
Techne. Uh, descend maybe?
Okay.
I,
Hold off. Hold off. What is
oh,
hold off?
those. I have not memorized my vocab yet. So
Excellent. Excellent. Open up your book now to page 31. And when I ask you to look at one of the words and tell me what it means, you're going to have an advantage when you can see it.
mhm.
And all I want you to do is peruse that list now. Look up and down that list and recognize that you're adding an extra sense to this when you're translating. You're actually reading and translating. This
Okay.
will be this will be your native position with the language. You will not be a hearer of the language.
Hmm.
You will be a reader of the language.
Yes.
You will always stick to that extra visual experience. You will never be bound by the auditory alone. And so that's why your relationship with the text that you're translating is important. And if you don't
Okay.
understand, Maddalena, what you are to that text,
Hmm.
right? You are the eyes on that text. You are the
Yeah.
translator. You are the critic of the play, right?
Hmm.
So you have
Yeah.
to recognize that's who and what you are. Okay, so this is perfect. Our 50 minutes is up. Now, um, here's what I need you to do for the next hour
Okay.
in whatever way you deem best for your studies. I want to be able to come back from the out after another 50 minutes. I want to be able to come back and I want to be able to quiz you on the
Okay.
vocabulary. I want you to
Okay.
know it all. I promise you'll get to look at it. All of this will be not me just saying things to you, it'll be you get to look at it. I want
Okay.
you to know the vocabulary and I want you to be able to translate as many of the exercises as you can, as
Okay.
many as you get through. If that means you only get through three of them, then we
Hmm.
do three of them, right?
Cool.
Right.
Okay.
So be working towards that. Give yourself a break and over the next hour because I'm asking you to do work. Make sure and if you do a couple of sentences and you're starting to get woozy, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Stop, take a break, right? Go over and do something. What am I doing, Maddalena, so you know it? In the
Hmm.
intensive course, they have the instructors bombard you with the information, number one, and then check to see that you're getting it
Hmm.
and that you're able to use it, right?
Yeah.
And then they stop, they give you a break where then you work either by yourself or with other students.
Hmm.
You say, we do our work together. It didn't matter to them, right? It was whoever was in the class, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I want for the next hour. I want to be able to come back and do the exercises from unit one with you having a 100% comprehension of what's going on. That's the goal.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Fantastic. So we'll get a vocab quiz and we'll get exercises in 1 hour from now. Okay.
Cool. Sounds good.
Okay. And I will put my cell phone. Should I? You know what I'm gonna do in case. I will come back in 30 minutes for questions. Okay?
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Jump. Take me out, Drew. Okay. Okay. Is she going to be back shortly?
I believe so.
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay. Was that her? Maddalena, what are you doing? Okay. I'll wait for her. Maddalena, fantastic. How are you doing and what are you doing? You,
You're muted.
I memorized the vocab.
fantastic. Now you're going to do some sentences?
Sure. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. I'll have a little surprise for you at the beginning. Keep working on it at least another 20 minutes. Get as many of those sentences as you can get done.
Okay.
And we'll go from there. Fantastic. Fantastic.
You got.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I can.
I would say
Yeah,
sure.
if you want to talk,
Madeline,
if you want to talk like.
Hello.
All right.
Hello, Aman.
I think he froze.
You frozen?
fantastic. I think it's working now.
All right.
All right, Maddalena, how are you?
Good.
Okay, I want you. Didn't tell you to do this, but I want you to do it now.
Okay.
Just as a surprise. It's a pleasant surprise. Turn to page 109. Turn to page 109. And you say, wait a minute, that's 100 pages into it, right? Yeah, well, good. I want to show you that the lessons that you're learning now are going to be things that will carry you through. So
Okay.
if you're on page 109, go down to number 217. It's the last example in Greek. These are very short sayings, gnomic sayings of Menander. This is actual Greek.
Okay.
And I just want you to see some actual Greek. Could you read to me line 217 in Greek? Just pronounce the Greek.
Sure. Hey God, Kairos. Hedone. Tikte. Bla ben. Bla ben.
Perfect. Okay. Perfect. That's that third word in para kairos. I just want you to notice that it's made up of two components. It's made up of a prefix para and its root kairos. Kairos is your opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Hippocrates talks about it as your one point in the disease that you can really treat. That's your kairos. So what is the para kairos? That's something that's kind of off the mark. It's off of the kairos. And you'll see in the definitions below that on page 109, the definitions below, I just want you to look up, see which one is para kairos there. It says ill-timed. Yeah, ill-timed. That's a nice Victorian way of saying it's off of the precise moment where it works. Okay? Now think about that. All of that is packed into that one little word, right? So what does this say? Hagar para kairos, he done. Now I want you to notice, look at that definite article, hey, there at the front. Notice that 4 words in is the noun.
Yeah.
That it agrees with. Hey done is all the way down there. Notice that's that nominative, singular, feminine, right? Hey done. If you look down on the gloss here in the little dictionary, you can see hey dones, hey means pleasure. We get hedonistic from that, of course, all that kind of stuff. But a pleasure that is not kairos, that is not timed well, dikte, gives birth to blind, gives birth to an injury. Yeah. So you can see there's 2 levels. One of the reasons I wanted you to see this is there's 2 levels. There's translating word for word and trying to put together. And then there's another level of making sense, right? Translating it so that it makes perfect sense. That's where the art is. Okay. Is ill-timed pleasure? Now, what do you think intellectually? Is ill-timed pleasure? And
Oh, you're frozen. Man.
Ill-timed pleasure indeed.
Oh. You're back.
And you're back, I'm on.
Oh, I can't hear you.
We can't hear you. Can't hear you. Still can't hear.
Oh, I hear you. For a second.
How many people are we?
Classic.
okay, maybe that'll work.
You're good. Okay.
We hear you.
We'll probably have to do that every once in a while. Maddalena, now you just looked at just looked at some real Greek. So tell me, what is your impression of Menander's philosophy? What is he? Ill-timed pleasure is going to cause you injury. What? Any thoughts?
Don't harm yourself through bad timing.
Yeah, something like that. I think that's a good take on it. Okay. So what we're really going for is that meaning, that true meaning. Okay. Now I want you to jump back to Plato before we do your exercises. I want you to jump back to Plato on page 15. And I want you to know that this is the beginning of the end, right? It's the beginning of the end of the Republic. And in line one, I'm going to read a little bit. Kai hutos o glaukon, muthos esothe, kai hemas on sosean. That's the first line there. I just want you to be able to hear it. Look at the second line now. An pethometha autoi kaiton tes lethes potamon eu. Right? And it goes on.
Yeah.
The third line is diabesometha kaiten psychen udamos mianthe sometha. I want you to be hearing these sounds. So I want your eyes
Yeah.
follow those first 3 lines again. I'm going to read them like I
Okay.
want you pronouncing them. Kai
Okay.
hutos o glaukon muthos esothe, kai hemas ansothein. An pethometha autoi, kai tontes lethes potamon, diabesometha, kai ten psychen udamos miante sometha. Fantastic.
Cool.
Now, I want you to look at a couple of things. I want you to look at that second line. The second word in that line is pethometha. Notice there is an omega under the accent. Now jump down to the third line and look at the last word on it, miante sometha. Notice it's an omicron there. It's an omicron there. I just want you to be noticing as the vowels change, they tweak the words. All that's doing is telling you what kind of different conditions we're putting on the word.
Okay.
Right? This is verbs and whatnot. So fantastic, fantastic. Now, wait a minute. Look at the first line there. Look at the phrase "o glaukon." Right? There is one of your vocatives, right? O glaukon. The guy's name is Glaukon. You say, wait a minute, that doesn't end in an epsilon, right? Okay, I told you. Don't worry about that. Right? There's a marker for that. Right on the front of that omega is going to tell you, hey, I'm in the vocative case.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't want you
Directing
worrying.
toward. Yeah.
Right. Notice all we're doing now is we're taking apart words. Look at the second line. Look at the third to last word. It's lethes. Remember how I said find us? We see any words in here that are in the first declension, those feminines ending in an eta something, right?
Yeah.
Here's one, eta sigma, lethes, right? From Lethe, which is the river Lethe, that river of forgetfulness. What is he saying? We've got to go beyond that river of forgetfulness, right? Not stain our soul. Wait, what? Not stain or look at that last word in the third line. Mianthe sometha. Mianthe sometha. Oh God, what a beautiful verb. Let me show you. Chewy, can we bring up the LSJ? I want Maddalena to see a definition here in the LSJ. Hang on. Fantastic. Maddalena, I'm going to go ahead and bring that page up for her. I want her to be able to see it. I'm going to have the LSJ identify. Can you see the LSJ page with me, I know at the top?
It's loading.
It's loading. Oh, my satellite. Let me know when you can see it.
Okay. Not yet.
It doesn't look like it's gonna load. Oh, there it is.
I
There it
see
is.
it.
Okay, fantastic. Me on thesometha. Notice how the entire word is below the definition, and then just skip to the right, and you see it says it's a verb. First plural, future passive, future indicative passive. Isn't that nice? Chewy, tell us what this word means. Go ahead and click on it. I know it'll take a while, but you're going to see stain. You're going to see stain. Moral pollution, right? Along with the stain, you're going to see dying. Dying. Wait a minute. Dying is totally different, right? Dying isn't some kind of stain. No, it is. And there is no moral wall here to distinguish between the stain and the dye. Look at down here at the bottom. Ritual defilement in funeral rites. Isn't that interesting? Ritual defilement. What the hell is ritual defilement? To dishonor a woman. What are these people thinking? They're thinking same concept of dying is the same concept as defiling, is the same concept as engaging into illicit intercourse with a woman. That's defilement, right? Me, I know. Don't defile yourself. What you have to realize that when Plato was writing on, go ahead back to page 15. When Plato was writing on page 15 about defilement, when he's writing about life and the cycle glaucon of what's going on and the river Lethe, what? These concepts are absolutely 100% dependent upon the language. And it's the language that's driving. Language is as an operating system that's driving these images. And Plato is just harvesting these images. Okay, let's go
Nice.
to your vocabulary quiz, shall we? Turn to the
Okay.
turn to the vocabulary on page 31, please. Cover up the English on the right-hand side with your hand or your arm or, a giant flashlight or I don't know, whatever you want. And look at starting at the bottom after the interjection O.
Mhm.
Word psyche, what does that mean? Look at it. I want you to
Soul.
visualize. You've got to visualize it, right? Because we're translators. Look at it, say it, and then tell me what it means.
Psyche. Soul. Oh.
He's frozen again.
We get kicked out. The satellite's way out, so it's not. Yeah, the satellite's all the way out. Not the satellite.
Your video was off, but we can hear you.
Yeah. We
Okay,
can hear.
fantastic. Psyche. What is a psyche?
Soul.
And hora. What hora?
Hora, is that is that land, country, or is it gift?
Yeah. Think of it as like the countryside, right? It can be
Oh,
a
yeah.
parcel of land,
Yeah,
right? It can be
land.
the countryside as opposed to the city. Good. Above that is techne. What is a techne?
Craft, skill.
Craft or skill. You got two verbs above that. Pimpe. What does
Mhm.
pimpe mean?
Send.
Right. You can add when you want to define a verb, you can
Mhm.
put it in its infinitive form. To send. To send. Good. Paidewe means what?
To teach or educate.
To teach. Beautiful. Homer, you know Homer. Oikia. What is an oikia?
House.
It's a house, yeah. And it's not always. There's been a bunch of different words for house, and oikia is kind of like the household.
Household.
Household. It's how the house functions. It's how everything runs. We get economics from it, right?
Mhm.
Right? Good. Holdos. What is a holdos? Tell me.
Road.
Yeah, when you say road, what do you mean?
Pathway, perhaps.
Yeah. A pathway or just a way. Just a
Way.
way. Think of a way to do something, right?
Mhm.
Love it. Okay. Hoheto is your definite article. You're just going to
Mhm.
translate that as the. How about above that? Two above that is mache. What is a mache?
Battle.
Battle. Good. And a nasos?
Island.
Good. Peloponnesian. Anyway. What logos?
Word. Story.
Yeah, word story. We can start with that now. It's really a
Mhm.
reckoning and accounting.
Yeah.
Polynesian as I went, not Peloponnesian. Anyway, keep going. Theos. Theos. What is the theos?
God. Masculine God.
What is a god to you?
I don't know what is a god to me at this point. A deity, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, how would you define your deity?
Hmm. by either masculine or feminine.
Okay. Okay. So is this what the hell? Can we get the Greek to help us any more than that? I want you to
Mm,
look at, as soon as you get this entry, let me know when you can see theos at the top.
okay. Oh yeah.
Okay. Notice in Boeotian, it's theos. Laconian is theos. Look at that. They changed the
I
theta
can't
to
see it yet, but
oh, you can't see it. Okay.
not yet. But
Oh,
I
wait.
hear you.
Let me know when you get it because I want you to be able
Okay.
to see it.
Cool. Oh man, it says failed.
Oh, it does. All
You
right, do it
could
again.
send a picture maybe into the chat.
And do you
Maybe.
want to do that? Should we just do that? Send
I
a
could.
picture in the chat. Fantastic. You'll have to show me how to do that. Good. Okay. Chewy is
Okay,
sending a
let's see.
picture. Did you
I see
get that
it.
picture?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Look at the. So you've got the word in Greek in
Mhm.
our attic. Theos is what we're going to see mostly,
Yeah.
right? But you look at a Boeotian. In Boeotian, it's theos. In
Mhm.
Laconian, it's theos, right?
Yeah.
What about that Cretan dialect? Theos. Look, they retain the theta, but they also use an iota, right? Okay, right. Look at the Dorian uses theus, right? And it
Mhm.
sounds suspiciously like Zeus,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? It's all their word for God. Now, what's funny
Yeah.
is if you read through this, you get a bunch of examples of what God is, but you don't really get a definition of God, right?
Yeah.
So
A
what are you gonna?
divinity.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
difficult. Look at number B, theoi at the bottom, or letter B.
Mhm.
We're talking about Andres in the Greek. Andres, they're men, people. People are what? Pater andron theonte. Right, all these people. What do you got to learn? You got to think about the father of gods and men,
Yeah.
right? And so, what is it doing here? It's just telling you, look, theoi, the word for gods, is often opposed to the people, right? It's gods and people. Gods are not people. People are not gods. They're that. If you'll notice that is the distinction of a god. That is the defining characteristic of a god. Right.
Mhm.
And how can we do that? How can we go back to the main page? How can we do that? When we tell you, when you read from now on what a word means, you're going to
Mhm.
see all of these definitions in the book, and they're going to tell you this is what the word means. You have to realize they are determining what that word means based upon other appearances, right? So
Yeah.
we should have a really good take on what a theos is. We should have a really good take from all the times that we've seen it. So you're going to
Yeah.
be learning vocabulary not based on some absolute truth. Some translator said this equals this. No, you're
Mhm.
going to be translating based upon your exposure to the word. When you
Yeah.
see this word 100 more times, when you
Mhm.
see it 1,000 more times, you can have a really strong understanding of what a theos actually is. And it's
Yeah.
going to surprise you. Things you thought there were one-on-one correspondences with, there are not. Let me give you one example using theos. A theos can be a daimon. Okay. Well, what's that? Well, a daimon is kind of a god. If you're going to try to translate it demon, you're going to mess yourself up because modern demon is not equivalent to a Greek daimon. Zeus can be a daimon. So
Yeah.
what is a daimon then? A daimon is a reference to the power behind the god. It
Mhm.
is technically that capacity to do those things. Eros, divine daimon eros is that power, that erotic power. So all
Yeah.
it is referring to a specific side of the divinity. It's not the same as just a theos, a daimon.
Mhm.
You know, it's essence of power. It's what it does. It's the thing that possesses you. That daimon. Okay, so realize as you're learning these words, and I give you 100%. That was a very nice quiz there on your vocabulary. Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
That's fine. How long did it take you to do that, to memorize the list?
Like 10 minutes.
Okay, like 10 minutes. That's awfully fast. Okay, fantastic. Which everybody has different paces. If you're out
Exactly,
there
yes.
and if you're out there and in Maddalena's head somewhere, you're one of these voices, one of these Discord voices in Maddalena's head. Don't think that it's going to take you only 10 minutes, okay, to memorize. It may take you 3 times as long. It doesn't matter if it does. What you need to do is commit these things to memory. That's all with vocab. Okay.
Yeah.
Maddalena, you did some sentences from Unit 1. Let's see if we understand grammar
Okay.
syntax of Unit 1. Go ahead and read the first sentence and then translate it for me, please.
Homeros ton anthropon paidewe. The Homer teaches the man or the person.
Good. Good. Now, let's just shine it up. Your pronunciation was perfect. Okay, you're right on with me pronouncing exactly where I am, so perfect. You said the Homer. Does that definite
I know.
article? Well, no. What you want to do is when you see the definite article, you want to translate it, and they told you in the vocabulary that it means the.
Yeah.
But it can also just mean a, right? A
Yeah.
horse, a dog.
Mhm.
And people will say, biblical scholars love to make a giant deal out of this and say, oh, look, it's got the definite article. It can't be the generic form. That's because they don't really read. That's because they really
Yeah.
don't read Greek,
Mhm.
right? There is a generic form and a specific form of the definite article. It can just mean and when you've got it with a name, it's just you're
It's
not
non-existent.
right.
Yeah.
You are not pointing to it, right? So perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Homer did what? He's teaching his man, right? He's teaching a man, right?
Mhm.
Now, he's teaching mankind, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Right now, by the way, as we're doing these sentences, remember that this is falsified Greek. It's not real Greek, right? So it's just there to illustrate. There are certain things that are done that you're not going to be seeing. Okay, so just and don't worry about like, does it mean anything? Does it have any philosophical significance? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's just exercises for you. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry to slow you down. Number 2, go ahead
No,
and
you're
say it. Let's translate it.
Ho Homeru adelphos paidewe ton anthropon. Homer's brother educates the man.
Most excellent, right? And you said Homer's brother. And voices in your head may say, "How did you get that out of Homeru adelphos?" Ho is the definite article with adelphos, right? The brother, and then we have Homer in the genitive case, the brother of Homer or Homer's brother. Perfectly done. Okay, so far you're wrecking this with an A, right? You're completely wrecking it, right? Let's keep going. Do number 3.
Okay. Don Homeron paidewe ho anthropos. This is anthropos is the nominative, so it's the subject, right? So then
Good.
it would be the man educates Homer?
Good.
Okay.
The man educates Homer. And look, did you hear the little question mark in the end of your voice? The man educates
Because
Homer, right?
it's backwards. Just
Right, because
okay.
backward and it doesn't feel right. Right? Now what is the Greek doing? I mean, it's literally Homer, the man is educating, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So it feels backwards to us. Now, I want to point out a lie to you. The first big lie
Okay.
in this book is on at the end of Unit 1. It's the last bit in the grammar on page 30. Just go there and look at word order, and it tells you
Okay.
the basic grammatical
Oh.
relations of subject, verb, and direct object are shown in Greek by inflection, right? The inflection of those nouns and verbs. So if those verbs and nouns are already telling you what they're doing, you don't need a word order.
Yeah.
Right? You can jumble up the words, and because the endings are so specific, it'll mean the same thing. So what is the
Nice.
word order? What is the word order really doing? Look at the second line. It says word order is free to express emphasis, contrast, balance, and variety. This is the music. This is a part of the music of Greek, right? Greek indicates its balance. Think of this musically. Greek indicates its balance by its word order. It's not indicating its meaning, right? Its meaning is not going to change. Jumble those words, but what you can do is change the balance. When you put the word, look at A, B, and C there on page 30 under word order. Homeros ton adelphon paidewi. That one is Homer teaches his brother. But
Yeah.
look at B. It's the same thing. Homeros is still teaching his brother. But this time you've got the paidewe first. So the emphasis in B is the teaching.
Is the
What is
teaching,
what is Homer doing? He's teaching his brother. Right? There's no emphasis on his brother or on Homer. It's the fact that the teaching is what's happening. That first position in Greek and the last position are the two stressed positions. Those are what the author is really trying to present is the first word and the last. Right? Fantastic.
Wow.
So let's go back.
Cool.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Nice.
Let's practice it a little bit. How about number 4?
Okay. All right.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Actually, jump down. Let's do number 6. Did you get to number 6?
Yeah, we were talking about it.
Go for it.
Okay. Ho adelphos tu Homeru paidewe tus anthropus tus. So the double tus in de agore.
Good.
So let's see here. The brother of Homer educates the people, but the double twos, it just emphasizes the noun, right? In the marketplace. So
Correct. You're correct.
so the people.
Go ahead. You did.
So sorry. Yeah.
No, do it again. You're good. Do it one more time, fully through.
Okay. So let's see here. Okay. The brother of Homer educates the people in the marketplace.
Good. Fantastic. Now, that's a perfect translation, no problem. What you're noticing is that definite article is repeated.
Yeah.
And this is how it's being used. You can repeat the article to say, "Hey, look, this is an attribute of that noun. What kind of dog is it? It's the blue dog." Right? When you repeat the article right like that, you're creating attribution. You're telling me what is that noun like. You're describing that noun. So yeah.
Okay.
And what kind of people are those? Those are the people in the marketplace.
And the people in the marketplace.
Right? The teaching is of the teaching of the people in the marketplace. Oh God. Gorgeous. Okay, you got all the hard ones. I'll bet. How about turn to number 16? No,
Okay.
you may not have gotten that far. Did you get through all of the exercises?
I mean, I read through some of them. I didn't like break them all down, but I can
Okay.
do it.
Okay. Go to number 16.
Okay.
And let's do 16. Say that one and then
Okay.
translate it.
Oi Adelphi kai in mache hotheos tus anthropos tus tu homeru adelphus paidewe. Okay.
Fantastic.
So,
Good pronunciation. Let's see what you got for a translation.
all right. So I noticed, let's see, the Omega,
Mm-hmm.
the brother, and the battle, of the god, of man, Tustu. So, the brother of Homer educates. So, let's see
Good.
how that
Stop there
makes
for a
sense.
minute. Stop there for a minute. I want you to notice. In this one you got in the weeds. There's so
Yeah.
much information that they're pouring at you. There's so much information they're pouring at you because you speak and write linearly.
Yeah,
Right?
linearly.
Subject, verb, object. Because you rely on that linear, you're going to get lost in the weeds, and everybody gets lost in the weeds.
So you gotta
What
find the verb.
what happens? Go to the verb. Paidewe.
Yeah.
Just translate. What would paidewe just be by itself?
Educate, teach.
He, she, or it educates.
Mhm.
Right. Now, can you find a subject anywhere? Is there a subject? Anything in the nominative? It could be doing the verb.
Um. Uh. Um. Is it brother? Adelphi? Or is it
Adelphi with an
Adelphi
epsilon on the
with an
end.
epsilon?
That's going to be the vocative case. The
Vocative. So it's
interjection, the
okay.
omega
Yeah, I
next to
see.
it. So that
Yeah.
you're just going to say, oh brother.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
brother.
oh, brother. Yeah.
Right. Now, where's the
Okay.
subject? Where's something in the nominative case that can be doing the verb paidewe? Something in the nominative. Just for something in the nominative case.
Okay. So I would be looking for is it mahe with the
With an iota subscript, that's
I
got to
don't
be the
know.
dative case. So that's
Yeah.
not the nominative.
God.
Nope. Keep going.
Okay.
Look for an article. Look for a nominative
Yeah.
article somewhere.
Okay. Is it Homer? I don't have the
Tu
tu
homeru would be a
Homer.
genitive. That's a
Yeah.
genitive. So that doesn't. Nope. That's not going to be able to be the
No.
subject.
God, I don't know.
There is something here in the nominative. You're going to kick yourself when you see
Yeah.
it.
I know.
Look.
Is it man anthropos?
Nope.
I don't know.
That's an accusative.
I'm
Right.
taking every word but it. Okay. Okay.
Go to God. Find God,
Yeah,
right?
God, Deus.
Right. Hotheos, right? Hotheos is your subject there.
All right.
It's the
So,
nominative case. So try to make it that as your subject of paidewe.
okay. The God educates
Good.
man.
Good. kind of men are these? These are the Tuhomeiru
Battle
Adel.
to the men of Homer's brothers?
They're the brothers of
The brothers
Homer,
of Homer, yeah.
right? See how tous adelphus
Mhm.
is in the same case? It's the
Yeah.
accusative. Same case as tous anthropus. What
Yeah.
kind of men are these? These are the brothers of Homer, right?
Okay.
So
Mhm.
you translate this whole thing, oh brother, in battle, God
Mhm.
teaches men, specifically the brothers of Homer. Okay, now again, don't try to make sense of it. Don't try to like say what is it?
It's just puzzles. Just
Right,
puzzles.
right.
Uh,
Exactly.
love it.
They're just puzzles. And all they want you to
Mhm.
do is say, oh, okay, look, mache. Mache is a dative,
Mhm.
in takes a dative, right? It means in or on, in battle. Hotheos, there's your
Yep.
subject, God,
Mhm.
right? And then you jump to the end and find Pidel say, okay, let's do
Okay.
number 21 together.
Okay.
Hohomeros.
Mhm.
Hohomeros. What do you notice right away about that? Hohomeros.
Hohomeros, that's masculine and
Good.
um
What case is it? Is it
I'm
nominative, genitive, dative, accusative? What is it?
um is it genitive?
No,
Or
it's a nominative, right? It's
it
a
is a
nominative.
nominative. Okay.
You know what we're going to be doing our
Oh,
last
I
20
see.
minutes,
Sorry.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So
Uh-huh.
Homer does what? Just jump to the verb, right?
I think
Paidewe, there it is.
educates.
Who
Okay.
does Homer educate? He educates his tonadelphone,
Mhm.
right? The
Yeah.
brother. He
The
teaches the
brother,
brother. And here
the
you've got a
craft.
double accusative, right? The techne. He
Oh yeah.
teaches his brother the art. And how does
Mhm.
he teach it? He teaches it bibliois. He teaches it with books.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The dative is used to express how something is done. In what way is it done? By what means is it done? Right? It's done with books. You're
Mhm.
just going to have to get used to that dative
Yeah.
being that kind of thing. Okay, here's
Mhm.
what now. Go ahead and take that down. Here's what I have from my diagnostic. You
Yeah.
understand? Of
Mhm.
what we just did. You do the exercises so that you can see what you need work on and
Mhm.
what reps you need to do. The
Yeah.
reps that we need to do right now for the next 10 minutes are you turning to page 26. 26.
Okay.
And I want you to see
Mhm.
the chart in the middle of page 26. And I
Yeah.
want you to say to me just like this: logos,
Okay.
logu, logoi, logon. And then I want you to
Okay.
pause between the singular and the plural. And then
Mhm.
I want you to say logoi, logon, logois, logus. And I want you to do it. Just repeat it 3 times right now. Go ahead.
Logos, logu, logoi, logon. Logon, logoi, logu, logos.
Logoi in the plural. Logoi,
Mhm.
logon, logois, logus. Try
Logos.
that.
Okay. Logos, logus, logois, and logon?
Logus. I'm going to do it
Logus.
again.
Okay.
Listen to me. I'll
Huh.
do the singular after I do the singular. Are you ready?
Okay.
Logos, logu,
Logos, logu,
logoi,
logoi,
logon. Mhm.
logon. Mhm.
Good.
Okay.
Plural. Logoi,
Mhm. Logoi,
logon,
logon,
logois,
logois, logus.
logus.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
I
You
just
hear how
have to
you're doing this?
memorize the declensions, and then I should
Right.
be
You
okay.
just have to. Okay, now stop. We said it twice. I should have had you say it 3 times. But now stop and now just look at the bold. Just look at the bold and say the endings. Os, u,
Mhm.
oi, on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Os
Os,
u
u,
oi on.
Good. And in the plural, oi, on, ois,
Oi,
us.
on, ois, us. Yeah.
Good. Say it again, just the endings.
Os, u, oi, on, ois, us.
Good. Now do the neuter at the end, doron, doron, except I only want you to say the endings.
Okay. On, u, oi, on, ois, a.
Good. That's how I want you to remember this, right? On, u, oi,
Mhm.
on,
Mhm.
ois, a. Right? If you
Nice.
get that down, when you said it enough, you will not forget it, and you absolutely have to know it. For
Okay.
this one, those endings
Yeah.
are on page 24. If you turn
Mhm.
back to page 24, you'll see
Yeah.
all those endings. I need you to sit on the commode or on your back porch with a cup of tea or while you're watching news. And I need you to say os, u, oi,
Oi,
on.
on,
Oi, on, ois,
ois,
us.
us.
You got
Okay.
it?
Mhm.
Okay, that's masculine and neuter. You also have to be able to do feminine. Now, for the
Mhm.
feminine on page 21,
A,
I
ace,
want
a,
you,
a.
good, I want you to do the A's. A, ace, a,
Okay.
ain,
Mhm.
I, on, ice, us.
Ice,
Go for
us.
it.
Yeah. A, ace, a, an, I, on, ice, us.
Good.
Us, I, on, ace, us.
Good. And notice that those
Mhm.
plurals are the same. I, on,
Mhm.
ice, us. They're going to
Ice,
always be the
us.
same.
Yeah.
Feminine plurals are not going to change to A's, right?
Mhm.
They're going to always stay the same. I,
Yeah.
on, ice,
Ice,
us.
us.
Okay,
Cool.
good. So next time that we start, I
Mhm.
have to be able to drill you on
Okay.
your endings. You have to now have mastered everything in unit 1.
Cool.
Okay? So next
Okay.
time I really need why does he oh, somebody put a question. Why
Oh.
one of the voices in my one of the voices in your head is asking about the skipping of the vocative, right?
Oh,
Because you're
yeah.
not going to see the vocative frequently. And if you memorize these paradigms with the vocative, it will throw you off. So don't. All right? Fantastic. Fantastic.
Mhm.
Standard, people. We're trying to make it as standard as easily remembered as possible, easily memorized as possible. Okay, another one that you need work on that I'm going to quiz you
Mhm.
before we come is
Okay.
page 28. Page 28. Look at the definite articles.
Oh, yeah.
Please just go through
Open
and say them
Python.
once for me in masculine,
Okay.
all of the masculine, then all feminine, then all neuter. And I'll just be listening in. Go ahead.
Okay. Ho tu toiton, oiton toistus. And then you want me to do the feminine or the neuter?
Yeah, and I also want you to notice that nominative plural has a
Mhm.
rough breathing on it. It's
Oh,
hoi.
yes. Hoi, yes. Okay.
Good, good.
He taste te tain, hai ton tastas. To tu toi to, ta ton toista. Oh, wait. I forgot tice. So, yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Nice. Beautiful.
I
That's the
made a
one
note, but
correction.
I keep forgetting that. Yeah.
That's the one
All right.
correction I was going to make. So since you made
Yeah.
it, see, we're in sync. That's how it should be. Those are
Cool.
the definite articles. You're going to translate
Mhm.
those most of the time as the, just to get a general idea. And then you're going to work back and say, is this actually a generalized form? And it should just be a. So don't worry though.
Mhm.
You'll learn. They tell you context will tell you how to translate those
Yeah.
articles. Right.
Cool.
So don't worry about
Mhm.
don't worry about that. And lastly, the last point of grammar that I really wanted to hit
Okay.
is on page 20. There is a very good diagram that you looked at, and I'm sure you're like, oh, that's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Really, is that really going to
Mhm.
help or whatnot? It really is. If you look at the different oblique cases they've got there, that is the
Mhm.
genitive, the dative, and the accusative. They have those 3 oblique cases there. They're
Yeah.
not listing the nominative, but they're putting them there to show you what their relationship is to one another and the cosmos. And I'm telling you, this is one of the reasons Mother Greek is so incredible. Look at the box. All of the cases can be related to the positioning of the box. The accusative is a motion toward or into that box. The dative is the existence on or in that box. And the genitive is the exiting, the leaving of that box. So accusative, direction into, dative, placement upon, and genitive, exit out of, right? Movement away from. Conceptually, if you will understand this point, you will be able to break down compound verbs because you will understand exactly how the Greek mind is working to say, look, when it comes to movement and position, there are only three pathways that you can take. You can be going towards something, you can be sitting on that something, or you can be going away from it. Do you hear, Maddalena, how those are, that's like basic physics?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's how
right?
they behave.
It's the basic physics of the cosmos baked into the language. The language is expressing that. So they are thinking. They are thinking in a way. They are thinking in a way that is expressing itself in the language. If you understand how they are thinking, it's only because you understood that language. So these little charts that they make of, conceptual, this is what the Greek is doing conceptually. They don't, they may not seem like they're hugely important at this second, but it will come back to you in the future. And you'll be working with a dative, for example, and you'll be like, oh, I do really see that it means to be positioned upon or at or on something. And so it'll really help. I just wanted you to see that. And that was all the grammar. I wanted us not, with our few minutes that we've got left, I wanted us not to miss that there are all sorts of notes on the vocabulary after the vocabulary. So like starting on bottom of page 31 and going to page 32 and 33, 34. You've got all of these notes on the vocab. I don't want you to be memorizing anything out of these notes. Okay. The notes are just there to kind of supplement you for all the words that you'll be dealing with. So, for example, at the top of page 32, they give you that little diagram again of the accusative, the dative, and the genitive. And then they put prepositions. The accusative preposition ace means into. The dative preposition, the preposition in takes a dative case, they say, and it means in or on. And then ek meaning out of. So you can see the relationship. They try to set it up for you there to see the conceptual side
That
of the word.
makes more sense. Yeah.
You don't have to memorize this material, but if you could just read it, just to expose yourself to it, it will help you. Okay. For next time, we're going to start off with a quiz on those first and second declension nouns. I'm going to make sure that you're up to speed. And on the articles, you have to have those memorized. And then you and I will read Unit 2 together, emphasizing the big important things that you need to know. And we'll do the same. We'll do the same format we did today with Unit 2. Okay.
All right.
If you're able to translate the sentences at the end of each unit, that's what tells me you can go forward, and you are.
Okay.
So the best way to prep for this would be just for you to sit down and read Unit 2, not trying to memorize yet, just read it.
Okay.
And then making sure that you have memorized what's in Unit 1. Okay.
Cool.
Because that's all going to come back to be reinforced on you and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it was a lot of work today, and you hung in there. This is a lot of, this is a lot. So the pace is going to seem like it's getting faster and faster, but the only thing we're doing is reading the chapters together, doing the exercises together. That's it.
Yeah.
And doing some testing. Okay.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. And you had some menander today. It wasn't too exciting, but I'll bring in some more, a little more
Cool.
interesting. But you have to see that you can do this, and so that's why
Mhm.
they give you the Menander. Okay,
Cool.
all right. I'm going to go. Is it clear what you need to do for tomorrow?
Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Maddalena.
Sounds good.
Keep it up.
Thank you
Keep
so
it up
much.
and work hard. And by the time we get to the 20th unit, you're going to be surprised. You're going to be like, oh my God, I made it through the whole thing. So
Awesome. Cool.
fantastic. Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You
Mhm.
too.
Thank you, Raman.
That was
Thank you,
awesome.
That was
everybody.
cool.
Great class.
See you.
Maddalena, one
Good
of
Thank
night.
you guys. I'll catch everybody.